Today on The Young and the Restless, Victor gives Adam what he asked for, Victoria works to get Nick on her side, and Mamie questions Nate. At the Abbott house, Jack tells Mamie he couldn't be happier that she's in town. Mamie teases Jack about his reactions to surprises and recalls watching him open presents at Christmas with John. Tracy frets about not having her room ready, but Mamie doesn't like fuss. She confides that this reunion isn't the only reason she's in town. There's a matter of some importance that has brought her here. Jack and Tracy wonder if Mamie has a new suitor. Mamie doesn't want to say anything yet and jinx it. She asks to hear about Jack's wedding. Tracy says it was small, but beautiful and romantic. Mamie notes that Ashley got married to Tucker McCall. Jack makes a face and says, that marriage lasted about as long as I expected it to. Tracy clarifies that it may have ended already. Tucker is back and Ashley's in Paris. Mamie doesn't like the sound of that at all. Jack says Tucker broke her heart again, and this time he won't get away with it. Mamie doesn't like to hear Jack talking like that. Ashley is an adult and battling with that man is a waste of time. She stands up and says she needs to be getting on. Tracy asks how long she's staying. Mamie says a few weeks. She has business to settle. She's booked a room at the athletic club and would prefer to stay there for privacy. Jack teases, "What are you up to, Mamie Johnson?" Mamie muses, "Oh, I'm just settling a few debts, that's all." At Lily's place, she tells Devin it's best to talk about the mystery investor there rather than at the office. They wonder when the person will reveal themselves and worry if it's someone who wants to cause harm to the company or has an agenda different from theirs. Lily feels that Victor's so focused on the turmoil at his own company, he's not even thinking about what this will do to theirs. They continue speculating about the investor's motives. Lily has a money guy trying to trace the money trail. Neither of them like the idea of being blindsided, but they'll stick together no matter what. Lily gets on the phone with the guy who was following the money trail and then updates Steven that the funds came from a Detroit company called LBB Financial. Devin asks what it stands for. Lily doesn't know, but it's her grandmother's initials, Lily Bell Barber. Her grandparents lived in Detroit, but it has to be a coincidence. At society, Victoria flashes to her big argument with her dad, during which he invited her to leave if she doesn't like how he's handling things. Nick arrives to join her and she asks about his trip. He confirms it went well. Victoria tells him she needs his help. We need to stop our father from making a terrible mistake. She talks about how erratic their father's behavior has been lately. Nick reminds her he can do whatever he wants. It's his company. She thinks it's an indicator he's suffering confusion. Nick's unconvinced there's anything wrong and doesn't want to get dragged back in. Victoria urges him to think about the family. She's worried about their dad's health. It's not a good idea for him to dive back in as CEO. Nick concedes he's been acting a little out of character, but he blames Adam's actions. He's not sure what she's asking of him. I'm not coming back and I'm definitely not going to war. Adam arrives in Victor's office. He saw the press release and High Name was in it, but the description of his role was rather vague. Victor buzzes Nate to join them. Adam asks how Nate figures into this. Victor says, "You'll find out soon enough." Victor tells Adam how pleased he was by him expressing his intention of starting back at the company from the bottom of, but that doesn't mean he'll be in the mailroom or the men's restroom. I have a place a little further up the ladder. Nate walks in and Victor declares, "From now on you will be Nate's assistant." Adam asks, "You're joking." Victor says he's not. Nate tells Victor he already has an assistant, Greg, and he's great. Adam can't see how this will benefit anyone and Nate asks what he should tell Greg. Victor already has another position for him and tells Adam he's certain he'll realize sooner rather than later that this is the ideal position for him. Adam tells his father this isn't what he had in mind. Victor doesn't recall discussing him having a choice. He wanted a chance to prove he could change. He's got it now. Adam guesses this is another test. Victor says every minute of every day is a test. With that, he files out. Nate tells Adam this is as much a surprise to him as it is to Adam, and he hates it as much as he is. Adam can't back out because that's what his father is expecting him to do. Nate gets a call from Devin, who wants to meet in person. They agree to meet at the athletic club. Nate then tells Adam when he gets back, they'll talk about his duties. Adam stares at his father's portrait and muses, "Very funny. What's the play here, Pops?" You're going to push me until I break, is that it? At Society, Nick understands that Victoria is upset about Victor taking the reins again and tells her she was doing a great job. He saw no reason for their father to take her out of the big chair. Victoria says it's not about business, it's purely personal. Maybe he doesn't approve of my love life. Nick still isn't coming back to Newman, so what does she want from him? Victoria asks him to hear her concerns. I need you to help me stop Dad from jeopardizing his health. Victoria reminds Nick that he agreed that Victor wasn't acting like himself with all of this changing his mind. Nick asks if she's just using this as an excuse to get her job back. Victoria is insulted and reminds Nick of his past medical issues. Nick thinks it seems coincidental that she only became concerned about their father's mental decline after she was demoted to co-CEO. At the club, Devin questions Nate about his mom, Olivia, and explains about the investment company called LBB Financial. Nate says Mammy has a small investing firm and that's its name. Devin wants to know what else he knows about the company. Nate balks, and Devin gets irritated. Nate wants to get beyond the past, but Devin walks out. At the Abbott mansion, Tracy and Jack giggle about Mamie being so mysterious. She had a twinkle in her eye just like when she and Jill used to face off. Jack wonders if Jill is the unfinished business she was talking about. Tracy laughs that they were civil at the gala, sort of. She thought they'd called a truce after Mamie took Jill's $1 million and left. Jack still wonders if Mamie has unfinished business with Jill. Mamie walks into the club and spots Nate, who she hugs. Nate's thrilled to see her and asks what brings her back so soon. She decided to spend more time with the people she loves the most. Nate warns her Devin was just there asking questions about her company and her sister, Lily Bell. Mamie muses that he certainly got onto that faster than she anticipated. Nate asks what she means. What are you up to? Devin rejoins Lily at her place and tells her that Nate told him Mamie has an investment firm named LBB after her grandmother. Lily gawps over Mamie being the secret investor. She understands why she wanted to keep it a secret given her history with Jill. Devin can't grasp why she kept it a secret from them. Lily wonders, what is she up to? In Mamie's suite, she tells Nate that he is the one person she can trust with the truth. Nate thinks this sounds ominous, but he's flattered. Mamie says it will all come out sooner than later, sooner than I expected apparently. She wanted Nate to hear it from her. I've invested in Chancellor Winters. Nate asks why she kept it from Lily and Devin. At Society, Victoria thinks it sounds as though Nick thinks she put her own ambition above their father's well-being. He just thinks the timing is coincidental. Victoria thinks it will be too much for him to come into the office every day, and guess what? Mom agrees with me. Nick shrugs that she should be the one to try and talk to him. Whether your concern for Dad is genuine or not, Dad's going to see it as sour grapes. He warns of the fury that will rain down upon her if she ever suggests to their father that he's incapable of running the company he built. He advises her to let Mom deal with it and accept the fact that she's not leading Newman right now. Adam walks in and notices that Victoria's angry and Nick's nonplussed. He guesses Victoria just told him about the new family company news. He wonders if Victoria had a gleeful hand in Dad appointing him as her boyfriend's gopher. Victoria sniffs that whatever fate their father has chosen for him is undoubtedly more than he deserves and decidedly unfair to Nate. With that, she walks out. Nick asks Adam, "What the hell was that?" Nick says, "Our father has a haluva sense of humor, doesn't he?" Adam snarks, "Oh yeah, hilarious." Nick tells his brother he walked right into this by saying he wanted to work his way up. Adam asks, "Under Nate's thumb though?" Nick concedes that part sucks. He doesn't know who he trusts less right now, Nate or Adam. The fact that this just happened and Adam's already whining about it tells him that he doesn't want to work his way up from the bottom. He's just biding his time until he can make his next move. Adam guesses it's good that Nick got out of Newman again, just at the right time. Nick doesn't care what he does, but if he does anything to hurt Dad or Vic, you'll deal with me. At the Abbott house, Jack and Tracy wonder if Mamie would come back to town with a vendetta for Jill. Tracy doesn't think it sounds like the Mamie they know. They worry that if anyone knows how to play dirty, it's Jill. At Lily's, she and Devin worry about Jill's reactions to the news that Mamie's the investor. They have to be sure before they tell her, and more importantly, they need to figure out what Mamie's motives are.